Hey gang, Jason here for the love of tractors, and I'm with the John Deere Authentic 4450 front wheel assist. Now, these were quite popular when they came out, and in my opinion, maybe the second best Authentics that came out. I think these are just really cool tractors. So we're going to do the collector score on these. We're going to give it a good review here and all that good stuff. So let's talk tractors, y'all. So the 4450 from John Deere. So these are like 100 and, let's call it 20 something, 130 horsepower to the drawbar, depending on who you ask. And so the authentic version, we actually got a couple different versions. We got this version, which has the big old beefy rear tires and a front wheel assist. And we got a second version that had some narrower rear tires and two-wheel drive. Now, I'm doing the front wheel assist version. I just quite frankly think it's the better of the two. Now, the deal with these was when you ordered a case, half of them came front assist, half of them came two-wheel drive. And collectors like myself tore a lot of these up. We used the tires off of them. So they may be a little rarer today than they certainly were when they came back, because I probably personally went through 30 or 40 of these, and I know other guys that did far more of them. So, but they're still out there, and so if you want one, it's not that you can't have one. They're definitely out there, and they're not particularly high priced. I think I've been seeing these going for, like 30 to 40 new in the box. So they've come up a little bit because brand new they were more like 20 bucks. So anyway, we'll walk through this real quick, and then we'll take a look at the collector score. You get nice front weights, and these are very nice. Now, they don't come off, but they certainly look like they could. But these are great weights from ertl, who at times doesn't do the best weights, but they really knocked these out of the park. The front wheel assist is awesome. I think the tires are perfect, and it steers nicely. It's not a big bunch, but it will turn. So good enough for me. Now the front wheel assist, you got this ladder and this step on it, or this rail on it. And you can see also we get a lot of nice engine detail there. I mean, just a really, really nice little tractor there for 1/64 scale. Of course, we've got our intake and our exhaust, and we get our caps up front. We also get a center marker painted silver, and some nice John Deere logo, and then the lights are, of course, a decal, or a tampo, I suppose, and then a really great decal along the side there, too. Just nice, crisp lettering, easy to read for an old guy like me. These rear tires don't have a ton of detail, but they are okay. I mean, you maybe like to see a little bolt action in there, and I'm sorry, just having a little trouble with the light. But they're still nice, and like I said, these rear tires are excellent. I almost wish ertl would just sell us these rear tires. I know that's never going to happen, but whatever. On the sides, these work lights up here, these are actually indented into the fenders, and then the lights are raised and painted silver. So that is a really, really nice touch. We get a mirror here and work lights back here, also a really nice touch, and we get a 3-point hitch with a quick hitch that actually raises and lowers, plus we get a realistic looking drawbar. So that's cool. Windshield wiper here, another up front, and another up front. So we get that. The door has a nice handle here, and cab top has got some flashers on it up there as well as back here. All right, so the downsides, and there's a couple. The rear end, the steerable rear end is chunky, but here's the thing. We have to understand ertl had to make it that way because ertl had to make it durable. And so that's something us custom and scratch builder guys, we don't necessarily have to do that, where ertl does, definitely. So that's a little chunky. And then this has been an epidemic in tractors, especially high detail tractors, of the last few years, and it's not just an ertl thing. It is an all of the company's thing. Speccast and even Top Shelf and so on and so forth, they get this white hazing on the tires, and that's not sure what that is. It's something that's still curing or whatever years after these tractors have shipped. Now, I think you can remove those with a little toothbrush and scrubbing on them. You can remove that, but I sort of feel like we shouldn't have to. Anyway, so I guess that's it as far as negatives. So I had 2 negatives there. Otherwise, this thing is a home run. One of my all-time favorite tractors that ertl has brought out. I just think it looks excellent. Just a really nice job on it. Like I said, small horsepower tractor. This would be awesome on, say, like a 6-row or an 8-row planter, which I should have brought one out to hook onto it, or maybe a little disc or a little field cultivator, something like that. In fact, what would be a really cool thing on this would be like a mounted field cultivator. Here's one I was kind of working on, and then obviously haven't finished it. But anyway, just a sweet tractor for your model farm or for your toy shelf at home. So let's get on to the collector score, the brass tacks, if you will. Value, so like I said, this was a $20 tractor, Authentic Series, high detail. Value is a 9. I wanted to go 10 there, but I decided to go 9 just because of the some of the hazing issues and all that stuff, which that really gets down to quality, but I feel like maybe they cheaped out in a couple spots, and that brings our value score down just a hair. Collectability, so collectability on these is a 5. I don't think these are ever going to jump up in price something significant. Obviously, if you owned one, you're probably going to want one. If you're just a collector like me that likes neat stuff, you're probably going to want one. But I don't think this is a have-to-have-it tractor. It's not going to turn anybody's heads in your collection when if you're showing somebody your tractors on your shelves. Nobody's going to go, oh wow, cool, you have the Authentic 4450. It's just not the way it is. So collectability is 5. Detail, I am going with a 7. I think it is well detailed and maybe as good as you're going to get from ertl in 1/64 scale on this tractor. Although, there's room for improvement. I could almost see SpecCast, if they could ever do something like this, making your rain cap move, or making those weights removable, or maybe making your front rail on your steps a little less chunky, so on and so forth. So I think detail is a 7. There's a little room for improvement, but it's a great tractor. Quality on this tractor is also a 7. So again, we talked about the issues with the front end being chunky and the mainly the wheels and tires. I think these wheels, the way they're hazing and things like that, I really think that hurts this tractor from a quality standpoint long term. Rarity, well, these are not rare at all, so I'm going with a 3 on the rarity. They're still out there, and these have been out for several years now, and they're going to still be out there, and they're not going to be particularly expensive, so if you want one, you can definitely find them still. So that's that. Let me do a little quick math here real quick. I think, if my math is correct, we end up with a collector score of 31 out of 50 on this tractor. So, I don't know that this score means a whole lot necessarily, but I think it's interesting to rank these tractors and see what gets up high on that collectability, that collector score list, versus what ends up low. Now, the 31, which is, in the middle-ish of our scale, is not a knock on this tractor. Like I said, I personally love this tractor, and I think it's one of the great tractors that ertl has done. So, anyway, that's that. Alright guys, if you've made it almost 10 minutes into this video, I appreciate it. Tell me what you think of the Authentic 4450. What would you change about it? If you were going to customize it, what would you customize it with? That would be cool to see. I guess, I don't know that I would change much on these. I really like this front wheel assist version the way it is. So, okay guys, if you want one of these, like I said, they're out there at the usual places, especially at toy shows. You can find them still quite a bit. I saw several at the Quincy show this year that guys were pedaling, trying to get rid of, whatever. Alright guys, so I guess that's going to do it for this review. As always, I really appreciate you watching. If you've made it this far, thank you. I realize that sometimes 10 minutes is hard to find to sit down and watch a video about tractors. So tell me what you think about this tractor. Please leave comments below. What tractors would you like to see me review? I will be glad to do them. So, alright guys, have a awesome day and happy tractor hunting.